Hi, Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another little album review. Not a box set this time, but a twin CD pack looking at Eddie and the Hot Rods and the singles from 1976 to 1983. I love this band. In fact, look at this. Went into the... It's falling apart, look at that. 1976. In fact, that's the wrong one. But that one, look, falling apart. It says on it, play loud. This is Eddie and the Hot Rods, the Marquee EP, which I think was the NME's second single of the year in 1976. With 96 Tears, Get Out of Denver by Bob Seger in 1976, of course. We also had Bob Seger's Rosalie by Thin Lizzy. And on the B-side was the encore of Gloria, which is probably the best version of Gloria outside of Jimi Hendrix, which segues into Satisfaction by the Stones. Literally 12 minutes of pure rock. Now, that is the thing. Because Eddie and the Hot Rods and Barry Masters thought that they were the first punk band. They were at the start. And you've heard me say lots of times on this channel, the first three bands through the gate on any new genre or movement are the ones that always stay at the top. So what the hell happened to Eddie and the Hot Rods when the Sex Pistols were actually supporting them at some point? Well, let's work that out and have a think about that when I get to the other end of this. So first of all, I'm just going to show you what's in the pack. I do get carried away sometimes. Eddie and the Hot Rods, the singles, 1976 to 1985. This is a double CD with fold-out panels, as you can see here. And we do get a little booklet on the back of the... And we've got, sorry, before I start with the booklet, we've got some nice pictures of the singles from the time, the picture sleeves, and all the tracks listed on the back. The booklet itself is, I think it's perfect. It goes through in chronological order all the releases with some background information and a little essay on each release itself. So each one is included. So just saying, going back for just make sure it's complete. Writing on the Wall, Cruising in a Lincoln, Woolly Bully, Horseplay, Live at the Marquee, which, as I said, and will say at the end of this, is one of my favourite releases by them. Teenage Depression, Shake, Might As Well Be Lying, Ignore Them, At the Sound of Speed EP. That's excellent as well. Do Anything You Want to Do, a classic single. Till the Night Is Gone, Let's Rock, Flipside Rock. I like the fact they've put in the sheet music for, obviously, what was their most famous anthem, Do Anything You Want to Do. And there is again a USA edit, Out of This Town, Distortion May Be Expected, Life on the Line, another EP which is superb, Medium Messiahs, Horror Through Straightness. It's a great title, isn't it? Power and the Glory, All Right, You Better Run, Looking Around, Super Stuff, Wide-Eyed Kids, Leave Us Alone, Further Down the Road, Fish and Chips Part 2, etc. And then Fought for You, Hate Tonight, which was the last one. And then you've got some more detail actually on the tracks from the CD and a few more cuttings from the Marquee and press ads from the time. So that's Eddie and the Hot Rods, the singles 1976 to 1985. So that's Eddie and the Hot Rods, the singles 1976 to 1985 even, not 83 as I said at the start of this video. So before I chunter on about my thoughts about this, what does it sound like? It sounds brilliant. I've got Eddie and the Hot Rods other albums on CD, and I've got a compilation which sounds like it's been recorded or been played back through a 3-watt per channel hi-fi system that only has treble. But this sounds meaty, and the sound stage is wide and broad and deep. And it sounds It sounds so powerful. For example, On the Run, the live track off the Sound of Speed EP, it's just absolutely blasting. It sounds superb. Absolutely brilliant. Captain Oi, which is subsidiary Cherry Red, absolutely superb. And I was saying before we moved on, as I was getting carried away, that the EP was the first thing I thought, and why did they not make it through to the Sex Pistols, the Stranglers, the Clash, the Damned. Why did they get left behind? You know, while I was still buying Quit This Town. Oh, great track, which is on here. And then the one, as I said, that's falling apart. The anthem. One of the anthems to me, Phil Aston of Now Spinning Magazine, Do Anything You Want to Do, was something that helped me so much. In 1977, I was 18, working in absolutely hellish factories and just wanting to go down to the seaside, and just wanted to get out of the, you know, head out of the city and head out to the sea and just do anything I want to do. And I just thought, lyrically, that song, which is on here twice, and so it should be, was just brilliant. But what you realise when you listen to this, they were really fantastic musicians, and covering things like 96 Tears, Satisfaction, Bob Seger songs. That probably wasn't that punkish, was it really? And when you listen to guitar solos on this, especially on the live stuff and the power chords, they were closer to Doctor and the Feelgood. They were closer to blues, R&B, rock. They were rock and roll band. They weren't really punk. They wore jeans and t-shirts, and they had looked like that attitude, but they weren't doing safety pins and spiky hair and stuff. They were a rock and roll band. And I think arguably the band themselves felt that because they didn't jump on the fashion wagon for punk, they got swept away and they were seen as part of the old guard, or they kind of fell in between, really. I know a lot of my friends thought Eddie and Hot Rods were too punk and missed them out, but when you listen to them now, when you listen to all of this stuff, and this is the best compilation ever for Eddie and Hot Rods, you realise they were a fine band. And yeah, they could have easily shared the stage with Dr. Feelgood. Great party band and wonderful, wonderful stuff. So that is Eddie and the Hot Rods, the singles, 1976 to 1985, 2 CD set, which is out now on Cherry Red. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all my patrons, especially Yogi, Clive, Andy and Chris. Stay safe. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor, and this certainly is. And I shall see you on my next video.